Well, good morning from beautiful Boquete. Here we are, it's around quarter to 10 in the morning, Saturday morning. It's windy, as you can probably hear from feedback on the mic, but it's a very pleasant temperature, as it nearly always is in Boquete. This is the Rio Caldera, the River Caldera, which runs through. Today we are going for a walk round the Fairgrounds, which you can see immediately ahead of you. It's very nice to have a walk around these fairgrounds. This is where the coffee fair is held in general, and there are various other events going on. I think the coffee fair is in January, but the park is wonderful to have a look round. It's manicured and you've got these beautiful flowers all the year round. Now, I'm not quite sure whether the fairgrounds are open at the moment. What you do is you pay a small fee. I think it's about $1, or you can get a discount if you're old like me and called a pensionado. And it's a lovely place to sit and relax and walk around and see the beautiful flowers. There are lots of rooms, or I should say halls, associated with the fairgrounds where exhibitions are held, mainly for flowers. So it's a great place. You can see it from a distance now, but a little later on. I'm not quite sure it's open at the moment, although it's, as I say, nearly 10:45. There seems to be very, very little people around. And then after I've shown you round the grounds, the fairgrounds, we might just have a little walk in Boquete's nature park. You've seen it all before, but we can have a stroll. And then I'll probably go off and get some breakfast and catch up with a couple of friends in Boquete, and we'll take it from there. Just walk on down here a little bit and let me show you this restaurant. This is on the other side of the main bridge in Boquete, and here they serve very good breakfasts. It's called El Puente, simply the bridge, and you can get a really, I'm sorry, I don't think you can see this quite well because the sun's directly shining on the display, but here it is, and you could get a breakfast for around about $5. Anyway, let me catch up with you later once we're inside the fairgrounds. Okay, just a quick look at where we'll be going. The Feria de las Flores y del Café, the Coffee and Flower Fair International. This is the place. It all looks so quiet inside, and even the pay booth seems to be closed up. So what we'll do is go and have a little walk around the park, and then we'll come back. I want to show you the interior of this fair with some more people in. It will give it a bit more atmosphere. So let's go for a walk in the park first. Well, hello from Boquete's beautiful nature park. I'm just having a walk around here today. I've done a full video on this park, so I don't really want to bore you with another one, but I've just a few things to say. Boquete is taking a little bit of a bashing at the moment. People are saying it's become very, very expensive, and they're looking for alternatives like the Vide and Dolega. But Boquete still has a lot to offer, and I think if you hunt around like the back streets for food, places to eat, you can find some hidden gems, so don't be put off by it at all. It's very worthwhile, and it's a beautiful town. I would highly recommend it for anyone that's coming to Panama for the first time, it's one of the places you can come, and it'll give you an idea of what Panama's like. And the temperature here in Boquete, of course, is quite mild compared to a lot of places in Panama, so that's a good thing. People love the climate here. They say it's a spring-like climate which they enjoy very much. There's a nice cool breeze today. I would say it's probably around about 25 Celsius now, and that's very pleasant indeed. Anyway, I won't show you too much more. Just to say, in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be going to Panama City for a look round there. I have a new friend there. She's Panamanian, and she's offered to show me around the city some places that I don't know about, so that will be interesting. And we're hopefully going to go to the Panama Canal Centre and have a look there. The Panama Canal Centre is something I haven't seen before, and I've lived here for 7 years, to my shame I've never been. So we might have a good time together for a couple of days. She's a Panamanian lady, but she speaks fluent English, and she's lived in Houston in Texas for many years and raised a family there in Houston. So that might be interesting. She pointed out to me that there is a monument to Albert Einstein in Panama City. It's the head of Albert Einstein on a kind of pedestal thing in, I think, a park area. And the reason being, Albert Einstein passed through Panama City on his way going to Colon on the Caribbean side of Panama's coastline. I think it was in 1933, and they made a memorial to the great man there, so it's something perhaps a little less known that will be interesting. And when I go there, I'll do some more research about it and add a better description than I've just given you. And yeah, Albert Einstein in Panama, how about that? Anyway, I'll probably leave it in the park for today because, as I say, I've covered this already and we'll be going over old grounds too much. So I'll pause the video for now, and we will return to the Fairgrounds a little later on, see what's going on in there. So goodbye for now from the park. Well, here we are, we're at some kind of ceremony. These are the young guides of Panama, the sort of David division. So they're giving some kind of presentation here, so I won't talk too loudly. But a real bit of Panama for you, so that's nice. As you can see, we finally made it inside the Fairgrounds, but there isn't actually much going on in the way of stores, food stands being open because we're out of season. I rather thought there'd be more on display, but nonetheless it gives us an opportunity to have a walk round in relative comfort and no crowds, so that's a bit of a bonus. We'll keep on going. We'll go on down to where we can get to the riverside, the side of the Rio Caldera, and that'll be a nice view for you. But as you can see, you can imagine it when they're in full flight in the dry season, which is effectively means the tourist season. There'd be so much going on, so much open to enjoy. can get very crowded. However, we are here today having a walk around, and we'll see how far we can go. Just talking earlier on about prices in Boquete being high, of accommodation, buying or renting, so on. But I had tentatively thought about moving to Panama City, and one of the areas I would like to live in Panama City is called El Cangrejo, which in English means the crab. It doesn't sound very flattering in English, it sounds much better in Spanish, but that's a rather upscale area of Panama City. It's upscale in as much as it's quiet and generally very safe, I think. There is so much to do there. There's so much at your disposal. Restaurants, bars, cafes, cinemas, malls. It's fantastic. Great place to live. The only trouble is I pay $400 a month for my one-bedroom apartment in Delega, which comes with all utilities, air conditioning. Now, to get that equivalent in Panama City, in El Cangrejo, would cost me double that, up to $800 or maybe even up to $1,000 per month, which that's a huge hike in expenses. Look at this bear here. I think his eyes are almost following me, so well manicured. Fantastic. Let's have a look round here. Well, I hope you enjoy it. It's kind of nice to come in here and be able to see everything, and it be relaxed and you're not rushed, and lots of people about. So in January they'll have the big coffee fair here, the coffee and flower fair, and the whole of the town will be awash with people. It'll be overrun. There'll be so many people here, and a good time will be had by all. And then they have an orchid festival. I'm not quite sure when that is. I think it's in January possibly. But they have all these rooms at the back there to hold special events. So it's a really big thing, the Coffee and Flower Festival. See how wonderfully they keep these gardens. And of course they have the flowers all year round here. There's no sort of growing season. The climate is such that they can support beautiful foliage all year round. No worries at all. So that's fantastic. Let's go up here and get a glimpse of the river running by. There we are. The Rio Caldera in full flight. Quite a steady stream. Absolutely beautiful. Well, I hope you're all doing well. I haven't posted much later through a bit of illness and so on, but back in the swing of things and really looking forward to this break in Panama City in a couple of weeks' time. It will be good to see my friend again, and she'll guide me round a bit. She's the one who told me about the Einstein monument, as I spoke of earlier, and I hope to do some background research on that and tell you a bit more. I'm not quite sure whether he passed through Panama City, why he passed through Panama City on his way to Colon on the Caribbean coast, but he left his mark wherever he went. I've heard of many stories of Albert Einstein visiting a town or a city in the world and then them making a monument to him in celebration of the visit of the great man, albeit it might have been quite fleetingly. So here we have it, the Fairgrounds. Boquete really does have a lot to offer. It is stacked out with restaurants and bars, good food. People have said it's a tad expensive, and I wouldn't necessarily argue with that, but it does have a lot to offer, and you know, perhaps you can be expected to pay a little bit more for that privilege. So there you go, beautiful Boquete. Well, I've had a very early start to the day. I've had some breakfast, but I'm going to go now to one of my favourite bars and have a couple of beers and maybe a decent burger. The bar in particular is Mike's Global Grill, which is an American bar, but it's a very, very good bar, probably the best in town, and I would say they do the best burgers in town. So there you are, life in Panama as a retiree. I can tell you, it isn't too bad. Well, take care of yourselves for now, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm actually hoping to take you to a couple of the large malls in David very soon, and you can have a look around there and see the shopping facilities. The supermarkets tend to be huge in these malls, absolutely huge, and you can get just about anything your heart desires. So that's all to come. We'll get there. So goodbye from Boquete's beautiful nature park. Take care for now.